latest, of course, on our weather impact alert for today, not for the snow, not for the ice, but for the windy conditions we've been seeing all morning long and the cold conditions too. Highs today only going to be in the lower 30s, so make sure you are bundled up. Of course, charge those devices in case of any isolated power outages. There have been a couple reported across the area, a couple hundred, but not anything too notable as of right now. We'll continue to keep you posted on that. Again, biggest impact is going to be that wind and that cold air that we see throughout the day today. Wind gusts going to be in that 35 to 50 mile per hour range that we've been seeing over the last couple of hours, continuing through today. Also going to be pretty chilly as well. Kind of diving straight into your forecast, we actually had a couple of snow showers over in association with this system that's bringing in the wind. It's also bringing in a couple of flurries along the North Carolina and Virginia border that have since dried up over the last couple of hours. We're seeing plenty of sunshine now. Not too cold for us, but over toward the mountains, feels like 4 degrees in Boone. Actual temperatures are in the lower 20s. And for us here in the Piedmont, 32 right at the freezing mark in Greensboro, upper teens and lower 20s for feels like temperatures. Nothing that we're not used to, I think, in this point of the game after these several weeks of winter weather and ice and snow and all of it. And we even had that 3-degree day not long ago too. Very cold, though, this morning. Make sure you are bundled up. Wind gusts that we've seen so far across the area, this is right now as of 8 a.m. Some of the highest I've seen over toward the mountains. 46 is a new high for Winston-Salem, 38 right now in Greensboro. Again, with winds that are like this, it can cause some power lines to topple, especially if it can knock over some loose trees, too. So it can certainly cause some issues. Not for everybody, but certainly for some people in the morning. So right now, this is the highest wind gust that we've seen so far today. 46 in Greensboro and in Winston-Salem, 40 in Burlington, 45 in Danville, 35 in Lexington, 58 over in Jefferson. Obviously going to be a little bit more over in higher elevations. You can expect that as we head into this afternoon, but those starting to die down. Going to be chilly too. We'll be in the low to mid 30s for highs, and it'll be feeling like we are in the upper teens and lower 20s throughout the day. Much colder for the mountains, where they obviously feel like they are in the single digits this morning. So what all is this coming from? Well, it's coming from this front that has pushed through the area. The wind moving in behind it. We're going to be seeing those winds kind of die down later on this afternoon and into the evening. They're peaking right now, and they'll continue to die down throughout the day today. So a closer look at the futurecast over the next several hours. Low to mid 30s at best for highs. Still going to be very cold with that wind too. That'll make it feel even colder. Waking up Sunday morning, going to be a cold start to the day. I have 16 for a low on Sunday. A little bit breezy, but not nearly as windy as we have been over the last several days. We do have this wind advisory in effect until 7 o'clock today. So what's the difference between that and this high wind warning? Well, this wind advisory is in effect because of the northwest winds that could gust up to 45 miles per hour or so. That can cause some problems, and that's for portions of northeast Georgia, here in the Piedmont and western parts of the state as well, till 7 o'clock. So unsecured objects will get blown around, tree limbs could be broken down, and a few power outages could result. Also, winds that are this strong can also make driving difficult, especially for high-profile vehicles. So make sure you're using extra caution. In regards to that wind warning, the high wind warning, this is a step farther in regards to dangerous. It's a step more hazardous, I should say. Expect difficult travel, especially on snow-covered roads. The strong winds will result in areas of blowing snow. That'll reduce visibility. Avoid being outside near trees. If caught outside, watch for falling debris or tree limbs. Remain in the lower levels of your home during the windstorm and avoid windows and overhanging trees. So please be careful if you're in this, and make sure you're wearing appropriate clothing too, because it is very, very cold. Hat and gloves, anything that you can to keep yourself warm, and that's until 7 o'clock tonight. But winds are going to die down before then. And here it is over the next couple of hours, even by around 10 or 11 o'clock, already starting to die down from what we've seen over the last few hours. And as we head into the afternoon, not nearly as bad. There's 7 o'clock already getting below 20. and we're going to be seeing those continue to die down as we head into the day on Sunday. So that is some good news. Again, this is not a weather impact alert for snow or ice. If you are just now joining us, it is for the wind that we've been seeing across our area. So one more peek here at some of our wind gusts and max wind gusts, and then I'll show you what you can expect as we head into next week if you're looking for a warm-up. Wind gusts right now across the region, 38 in Greensboro, 40 in Burlington, 46 in Winston-Salem. Again, outages haven't really been too widespread that I've seen so far, and I'm actually going to check that while I'm here with you. Because we're talking about it. I'm going to refresh my Duke Energy page. The most that I've really seen just in the past bit, I've actually been in western parts of the state, which makes sense. Looks like parts of Forsyth County have seen a little bit of outages with their current wind gusts at 46. Makes sense. Again, these aren't going to be too widespread, but isolated power outages certainly going to be an issue with these winds that I've picked up over the last few hours. Let's go over toward our west too. There's about 500 to 1,000 or 500 to 800 over toward Forsyth County. And then in Wilkesboro, you can see over there that current gust is at 33. Duke Energy currently has around 600, and that is over toward Mulberry, just north of Fair Plains and north of North Wilkesboro, as well as Moravian Falls too. It looks like they have also seeing reports of without power, and that is several hundred customers too, and that was first reported at around 6:30. So we'll likely continue to get these reports over the next several hours and keep you updated on that, but expect windy conditions. It's going to be cold today and into the day tomorrow. Tomorrow's not going to be nearly as windy, but we're still going to be cold in the low to mid 30s. I'm going to leave you all with a look at our 7-day forecast. See if I can bring that up. My computer's being there we go, a little slow with me. There we are. One last check here of your forecast. Could even see an isolated flake or two later tomorrow into the evening. Lower to middle 30s for Sunday, except not nearly as windy. We're starting to warm up though. By the time we step into Tuesday and Wednesday, we're going to be back in the low 60s, which is going to feel nice. Haven't seen the 60s in several weeks, so that's going to feel nice, especially after the 3-degree temperatures we had just a week or so ago. Rain chances also going to be returning later into the week as well. Going to be a little bit cooler too. We'll be back in the upper 40s and lower 50s. Thanks for tuning in with us. We'll continue to keep you posted, of course, on updates with the latest wind gusts and if there are any power outages across the area.